貴様がヒューズを殺した。その事実さえ分かればよい。まずその下の根から焼き尽くしてやろう。
When you think of anime, the first thing that comes to mind would be over-the-top action scenes, characters' goal, power of friendship, etc. But the one thing sometimes left out despite being iconic would be the biggest acts of revenge. Take any anime, there would definitely be a revenge plot in it. There are several anime with the entire plot driven towards this moment. Hi guys, it's Adam here hosting Anime Showcase, and today let's dwell into the top 10 best revenge moments in anime. With that, I would like to conclude this list. Do you agree with our number 10? And what would you rank at the top? If you think of any other entries that should be on this list, mention it in the comments section. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more new videos. Shogo Makishima is another awesome video who doesn't care what happens to anyone, even his co-workers. His passion for killing ended up with the death of Mitsuru Sasayama. When his friend Kogami finds about his death, he goes rogue seeking revenge. He fights alone the evil mastermind, even Sybil. The system to monitor criminal activities doesn't consider Makishima as a threat. After a series of battles and struggles, he comes face to face with Makishima and kills him off with his gun, getting his long-awaited revenge. This series depicts a good rivalry, which is worth watching. Number 9. Afro kills Justice. Afro Samurai.
It's unfortunate that you had to see this, boy.
The entire plot of Afro Samurai revolves only around Afro's revenge against Justice, the man who killed his father in front of him. In this world, possessing the number 1 headband is considered the highest honor a warrior can have. Afro's father had it for quite some time until his old friend killed him and taking the headband for himself. After witnessing this, Afro sets his heart completely on killing Justice. Training to the peak and fighting several enemies along the way, he finally confronts Justice, and after having a fearsome fight, Afro kills Justice, avenging his father and satisfying his revenge, which in turn made him the strongest warrior.
Finished.
Number 8. Kurapika destroys the spiders. Hunter x Hunter.
クルタ族
知らねえな。
As the last surviving member of the Korda clan, Kurapika shoulders the weight of loss, and makes it his life's goal to annihilate the Phantom Troop, who massacred his clan for their unique scarlet eyes. He became a hunter and later learned nin abilities for the sole purpose of revenge. Since he is an ordinary conjurer, he didn't have the strength to defeat the spiders. He created restrictions which allows him to only kill the spiders, but in return it gave him greater power. Yuvakin, who is said to have the strongest physical abilities among the troop, came face to face with Kurapika, since he damaged his pride. Now, with the added power of his specialist ability which gives him 100% controls in all types of nen when his eyes glows, he kills Yuvakin, thus taking the first step towards his revenge. Then later, after a series of events, he totally destroys the troop by killing another troop member and also restricting the leader Krallo to use nen again. You would expect no less from a guy who brought a shovel to a fight. But he is not done yet. His thirst for vengeance will never be fulfilled until the last spider dies. Number 7. Shikamaru avenges his teacher. Naruto Shippuden. Shikamaru's teacher Asuma was killed by Haiden, one of the Akatsuki who is immortal, after their first confrontation. Shikamaru's loss and his inability to save Asuma broke him, and he vows to take revenge. But it is no simple task. Even though all the Akatsuki members are overpowered, Haiden especially is immortal. There is no way to kill him. And then Shikamaru devises his best plan ever, to kill him and his partner Kakuzu. After having a well-laid-out plan, Team 10 and Kakashi faces the Akatsuki duo. While Kakashi was facing off against Kakuzu, Shikamaru lures Haiden into a trap inside a forest. His clever plan made Haiden's most fearsome weapon, the voodoo curse, useless. Shikamaru uses his shadow technique to wrap Haiden in a series of explosive tags, then uses Asuma's lighter to blow him into pieces and then buries him deep underground. Even though Haiden didn't die, he became immobile and stuck underground forever, which is way more brutal than death. Number 6. Kaneki snaps. Tokyo Ghoul. Ever since Kaneki became a ghoul, he refuses to eat human flesh, and denies his existence as a ghoul, having a conflict in mind with Ryze, the ghoul from whom he got the ghoul organs. While Jason is a ruthless S-rated ghoul, who enjoys torturing people. When these polar opposite people finally meet, Jason became fond of Kaneki due to his resistance. He then captures him and tortured him for days. Kaneki undergoes a series of brutal pain which gives Jason pleasure, cutting off his limbs and waits for them to regrow and then cutting it off over and over again, and finally putting a centipede inside his head. This mentally breaks Kaneki, and he finally comes in term with himself, accepting himself as a ghoul, and snaps. He then becomes very powerful and brutalizes Jason, and goes as far as to eat him, as a payback for torturing him for days. Number 5. Spike's Revenge on Vicious, Cowboy Bebop. Spike and Vicious were brothers in arms and were a perfect team when they were in the Red Dragon Syndicate. This turned upside down after the death of Julia, the woman they both fell in love. This made them bitter enemies to the end, and after the assassination of Julia, Spike faces off against Vicious in their final battle. Even after seriously injured, Spike manages to kill Vicious by shooting him in the chest. This resulted in one of the biggest acts of revenge in anime. Number 4. Sasuke vs Itachi, Naruto Shippuden.
イタチ、あんたはここで死ぬ。俺に殺されてな。
Ever since Sasuke's introduction in the first episode of in the second episode of the Naruto series, his only goal, moreover his life's ambition, is to kill Itachi, who was responsible for the death of his entire clan, including his parents. Sasuke becomes stronger with only that in mind. He ignores everyone, and leaves Konoha village and decides to train under Orochimaru and uses the curse marks, even at the cost of his life. Even after Naruto's several attempts to bring him back, he is hell-bent on revenge. And then the fated time finally came where he faced off against Itachi one-on-one. He struggles at the beginning due to Itachi's genjutsu, but then manages to tackle that and uses his ultimate lightning technique Kirin. At the end, even after manifesting Susanoo, Itachi dies at the hands of Sasuke, and he finally rejoiced the revenge he longed for, only to be struck with the truth that all sacrifices Itachi made was for him, and shifts his revenge towards Konoha village. Number 3. Angelo gets his revenge on Venetti, 91 Days. Angelo Lagusa witnesses the murder of his parents and his younger brother by Venetti as a child. Then after 7 years, comes back into town with another identity, Avilio Bruno. He gets a clue on the Venetti and kicks off his plan to kill everyone who killed his family. He joins the Venetti family and becomes close with Nero Venetti, patiently waiting for his chance to exact revenge. Along the way he kills several family members and goes through a lot of trouble, which even cost the life of his close friend. After 91 days of infiltration, his chance came up. At the end he didn't kill them, but instead decides to give them the pain worse than death by taking everything from them and destroying the family forever. He starts a gang war by killing the other Don while he was a guest of Venetti. This results in the annihilation of the family, leaving Nero Venetti in the same state as Angelo.
お前とヴィンセントには俺と同じ苦しみを、死ぬ以上の苦しみを与えるつもりだった。
Number 2. Roy Mustang vaporizes Envy, Full Metal Alchemist, Brotherhood.
ヒューズみたいなやつのことを言うんだよ。
Roy Mustang is a calm and cool person who aims to be the greatest in the country. That is until the death of his close friend Mace Hughes. He was heartbroken with this loss and decides to find out the person responsible for his death. When he finds out that a homunculi called Envy is behind his death, he was overwhelmed with rage and vows to avenge his friend's death. When he confronts Lust, another homunculi, we could see the flame of vengeance burning inside him. He brutalizes her by burning her into ashes. Then what would happen when he finds Envy? We find that out at the end of the series. When he spots Envy, he wastes no time in unleashing his full power, burning him to his basic form. Mustang, who is now corrupted with revenge, has only hatred in his heart and even tries to crush the tiny Envy, but was stopped by his assistant and Elric brothers, finally freeing himself from the burden of revenge. Finally at number 1, Gon beats Pitou to death, Hunter x Hunter.
もうこれで 終わってもいい。
We are not done with Hunter x Hunter yet. The protagonist Gon has his fair share of revenge, that too a brutal one. At the start of the Chimera Ant arc, Gon meets Kite, who was his father's student, and he becomes a mentor figure to Gon. Later they both face the Chimera Ants, eventually encounter Patu, one of the 3 Royal Guard, and in saving Gon, Kite loses his arm, which reduces his strength leading to his death. Gon takes all the blame on himself, but had a hope he could heal Kite's body, which was manipulated by Patu. He even heard her say it too, and he is hell-bent on saving Kite, but later he learns that he was fooled by Patu. This pushes Gon to the deepest of his despair, unleashing his full potential, which is equal to that of the king, turning him into an adult form, but in turn he loses his Nen ability. Then takes place one of the brutal fights in anime. He crushed Patu with all his strength, even losing an arm. The repercussion of this fight left him at the edge of dying. This is undoubtedly one of darkest moment in all of shounen anime. With that, I would like to conclude this list. Do you agree with our ranking, and what would you rank at the top? If you think of any other entries that should be on this list, mention it in the comment section. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more new videos. Until I meet you with another awesome video, stay tuned and enjoy your day.